What happens if something breaks at your rental property? Good news is you don't have to coordinate the repair on your own. Here's how Uplift Property Management manages that entire maintenance coordination process. First, we have an online maintenance request portal that every tenant has access to. They can also call us and talk to their property manager about whatever issues are going on, but they can submit an online maintenance request at any time, day or night, and include photos, videos, and a full description of whatever the problem is. Second, Uplift is going to troubleshoot this before we send anybody out. We want to limit the amount of expenses that the property owners have. So if this is something that we can walk a tenant through, we're going to walk them through that. If not, we are going to work through a vendor that we have, which leads us to when we have to select a vendor. Uplift has a great network of value vendors, I like to call them, where they are licensed, insured vendors that are going to go out and make sure that the job is done right and have quality of work behind them. We also send enough work to these vendors that we get usually a preferential price, as well as making sure that they actually go when they say they're going to go, to make sure that we keep everything satisfactory for the resident, which can increase the amount of time that your tenant will stay in your unit. Next, we're going to go through and make sure that the repair doesn't exceed your contractual maintenance limit. If there's ever a repair that we expect is going to go over the limit, we're going to make sure that we call you first before we approve any work to be done. The only exception to that would be if there's an emergency, like a large water leak or some habitability issue that is going on at the property that we are contractually and legally obligated to accomplish. We're going to make sure that we are on top of those as soon as possible, but also do our best to keep you in the loop. Lastly, when that bill comes in, Uplift is going to make sure that we coordinate payment for that vendor and that maintenance request through the funds of the property. If there's ever something that's a larger bill that comes through, we may ask for an owner contribution or use the reserve funds on your property to accomplish that. So from that initial request to that final invoice, Uplift Property Management is going to coordinate that repair and make sure that everything is done to our standard and making sure that your resident is happy and your pocketbook is happy as well.